Real, man. It probably seems like he was just walking off the porch there at Spring Valley, headed to Tuscaloosa. Wow, you had to be a proud dad out on that field Saturday, seeing Christian for his last game.
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. I'm still kind of, in that place of emotions, driving back as we speak right now from Tuscaloosa to South Carolina. And what a great weekend, and being on the field and having the chance to see Christian and hear all the great folks of Alabama. Just appreciate the fact what he has done and accomplished, and the kid that he is. From fans going back to my seat, shaking my hand, saying thank you for allowing this young man to come to Tuscaloosa. I tell you, that means more than the football part of it for me, Barry. And to hear so many people say great things, coaches. Even after the game, I was at one of Coach's houses and just hearing the things that they said. So unbelievable 5-year run, and kind of sad, man, for me, even coming down I-20 so many times in the last 5 years, that was his last game.
Yeah, I don't know who's made that drive more, me or you. I know you made it like that.
Tell me, in your words, because you played and know a lot about it. Is the difference in Alabama football versus other football programs Nick Saban's ability to do the right thing with coaches and players, or if that's not right, what is it?
Yeah, I think you're on point. One thing that I said to him was, thank you for honoring your word. Bringing kids from different parts of the country to Tuscaloosa, this small town. Tua Tagovailoa, families having to somewhat even transplant, buying into his vision, buying into his transformation of a young man on and off the field. And, he brings a lot to the table. And just seeing what they do, the operation is amazing. I think you take so much from how he runs, and I call it the operation or an organization of excellence. And they don't settle. They don't settle for anything less. I say it all the time. It doesn't matter what department it is, whether it be academically, nutritionally, strength training, coaching, you name it. Speakers coming in. He gives those kids every opportunity, whether they're going to play in the NFL or going into the business world afterwards. They are conditioned and prepared to succeed. And I think that's the difference. That's why recruiting, I know everybody thinks about the winning, and that's definitely a large part of it. Well, but when you look at the total body of work, it's amazing.
I put out some nice things about Georgia, and that's the one thing that Nick Saban does. His teams are always ready to play regardless of who they play, whether it be Citadel or Georgia again, where fans don't. And I took from a coach's standpoint that it'll be a tough game, but Nick Saban will have them darn ready to play. But it takes that kind of attitude to get them ready to play every time you play somebody.
Absolutely, and that's the hardest thing to do. I mean, when you're at the top, you know that you're going to get every single team best. Last 2 weeks ago, they 10-10 with the Citadel. I mean, you got to be prepared, and you have to be able to make adjustments. They didn't play great in the first half against Auburn, but the second half, you saw the difference. They got more aggressive on offense. The defense came up with the stops they needed, and they took care of business. And, Georgia, you don't think they're going to be fired up and ready to go? You don't think they're going to go back and talk about that national championship game, which they felt like they should have won, after, dominating Alabama in the first half, and then Alabama again put the script on them? Kirby Smart's going to use everything that he can. I mean, another former coach with a chance to knock him off for the first time. All that's going to be motivation for Georgia. Now, they expect that. They're going to be prepared the first half, first quarter, that Georgia's going to come out guns a-blazing. But you got to be able to handle those attacks. Don't panic. That's the thing they don't do. They're still confident in who they are, and they're able to bounce back and make the adjustments necessary. But, yeah, I feel good about this game. On paper, Alabama should win this ball game. But, again, you got to lace them up and go play the game. But they're going to be ready. I mean, because they have one goal in mind. One is the SEC championship, but it's national championship. And they know that they're already – the playoffs have started for them started a couple weeks ago. So they have been in playoff mode, and that's going to continue on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Dad and I talked about Kirby, and he obviously he's been under Saban's wing, and he got a good job. Sometimes guys leave and they don't get a very good job, so they can do a great job, but they don't win. But Kirby has an excellent job, and he's put his own spin on it. Maybe go back to even your son. Did those guys really enjoy playing for Kirby? What did they say about Kirby Smart?
Yeah, they did. They did, I should say, but they enjoyed being around him and what he brought to the table. I mean, listen, I've known Kirby for a lot of years. I mean, we recruited Christian, and we spent a lot of time together, and he's a great guy. He is Nick Saban part two now. I mean, he is. You listen to him, everything he says is everything that Coach is done. And, yeah, he's putting his spin on it, and rightfully so. But they're going to be physical. They run the football. They're going to be aggressive on defense. But he understands it, and those guys down there know what to expect. I mean, like Jimmy Pruitt, when they played Tennessee, a lot of those guys that play for him have a ton of respect for him. But, Barry, at the end of the day, Kirby's in the way now. Kirby's the enemy, so they'll be fired up and ready to go. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, he knows these guys, this, that, and the third. It don't make any difference. If they go out and play Alabama football, they should win the game. One
thing that surprised me about Georgia, and I haven't followed them probably as close as Alabama, is they're 13th in the SEC at sacking the quarterback. When I think of Kirby Smart, I think of maybe his teams here at Alabama that would get after quarterback. Is that personnel that they got? Is that scheme? Why are they 13th, Corey? Because that seems like a bad formula going against Tua Tagovailoa. You better get to him or he will pick you apart. Why are they 13th at sacking the quarterback?
I think it's personnel. It's not scheme. And the way they play defense is similar to Alabama. I mean, they don't really they play from a strategic standpoint, and I don't think they have the horses, the one-on-ones that can just beat guys, like they've had before. Like last year, they lost a lot of those defensive linemen to the NFL, those outside backers that can really go get it. Now, they got some young talent on that team. It's just, they haven't come into fruition yet. So their team, that's why I think Alabama – will get the edge. I think that what's spread now from a national perspective is almost 2 touchdowns. Their defense up front can, don't put the pressure on the quarterback, and they've had a problem stopping the run as well. So when you look at going against this offense of Tua and this running game, Joshua Jacobs and those 3 or 4 backs they throw at you along with those outstanding, 4 wide receivers and Irv Smith, throw him in that mix, it just seemed like a tough matchup. But they haven't been good all year. I go back to one game that I watched. It was Missouri. And Missouri ran up and down the field on Georgia but made mistakes, gave up block punts, things like that, and they had a couple of key turnovers. But they had a hard time stopping that type of offense. So, yeah, that's where the big question is. I think, they can do it on offense. They run the ball. They got some of the best backs in the country. They got some good receivers on the outside. Jake Fromm, I think, is a very, very good quarterback. Can throw it nicely. So, what they're going to have to do is hope they can run the football in Alabama and control the clock and keep that offense of Alabama off the field. That's going to give them the best chance to win.
What's Christian's future now? Where do you think? And I know you don't know where he's going in the draft, but what's your feelings there about what the future holds?
Well, I've heard a lot of great things, from people that, the NFL draft gurus, insiders. I mean, he's going to definitely, be, I think anywhere in the top 3 or 4 rounds. I think I'll be fair in saying that, but I think he's a guy that his upside is going to be tremendous just because of playing his natural position, and that's what he's going to be, a true outside linebacker. And if I can talk schematically what Alabama does, and people may understand this, and I've said it before, he plays pretty much as a defensive end in their system because everybody is 3 wide receivers in college football now. Nobody runs a lot of regular personnel. Now, Georgia will do some of that when you talk about 21 personnel, 2 backs or tight end or a U-back, we like to call them, what they call it regular. Now you have to play sort of a true outside backer. Well, when you play nickel, you go 4-man front, 4-2-5. Well, that's normally 4 down linemen. That's why you see Anthony Jennings, who's a bigger 260-pound guy, insert of the defensive end, and Christian plays it as well, so they just rotate every series. And he's done an outstanding job of doing that. But when you get to the National Football League, he's going to be what we call a Sam Strong outside linebacker, or Will linebacker, where he can play in what we call a 7, 8, or 9 technique, inside shade, head up on the tight end or outside, which is called a wide 9, an outside rusher, where he can utilize his skill set, which is speed and athleticism. Another thing is, when they rush to passer guys, Alabama defensively, those guys don't normally have a two-way go. What I mean by that, they don't have the free ability to jump inside, even though a tackle quick sets them. So, he plays within a scheme, which is really a great scheme, but that's why I say the upside's going to be better, and that's what the NFL people will tell you, what his length and his speed, his ability to rush the passer. And now when he gets the freedom in the league just to work the tackle, if you go watch him in practice, you can see what I mean. Guys can't block it. But right now, he has to play within a system, and then that's what you're supposed to do. And that's why I think the days are in front of him to be a really, really great football player. And I think the NFL guys, from guys I even talked to, coaches and scouts that I know, that's exactly what they're saying to me.
We're talking with Corey Miller, obviously dad of Christian Miller. Corey, you get to spend some time behind the scenes with Tua. I'm not asking you to share any intimate details, but is he a guy? I mean, he comes across as so humble, and just he just enjoys playing football, enjoys his teammates. He's not really care about all the praise and all that. Is that maybe share a story about Tua, or is that real? I mean, can anybody really be that humble that's that good?
Yeah, let me just tell you this. This family, I'm amazed, and they are amazing. And I've had the chance to sit with them and talk to the father and the mother and then, the sisters and brothers. This family is so God-rooted and God-planted, it's unbelievable. And they are a unit. They're together after the game. I mean, I had a chance to talk to Dad. We spent a few minutes together, and how him and Christian are really good friends. Joel was telling me Christian taught him how to hunt and all this stuff. And they're just great people. I mean, they come and hug those players, and they tell them they love them. And they're so genuine. And they're very prayerful. I mean, listen, man, I'm getting chills thinking about it. This family is just the salt of the earth. There's nothing fake. There's nothing. What you see is what you get. And that's why he is a great leader. He's very confident in who he is. It's just, and he's fun. He's electric. It's contagious. Guys love the kid. I mean, he's funny. But they're children of the Most High God, and I'm telling you, I watched her at Tennessee. His mom just hugged every kid that came out of that locker room, hugging them, and the dad. I mean, it's just genuine, man. It's amazing. It's something to watch, and I'm really praying and hoping that, and I believe that he's going to bring that Heisman back to Tuscaloosa. First one that's a non-running back, and I think it's going to be awesome.
I got to get you to talk about this. Your boy Dabo came out. He's whining now. It says that he's not being appreciated. He's beaten the rival 5 years in a row. Maybe it's time to look somewhere else. Come on, Dabo.
Stay away from Alabama. Then.
If he feels that way, if he's that thin-skinned, he don't need to come follow Nick Saban. What was your thoughts on Dabo's comments right there?
Oh my God, I saw that after. Listen, I tweeted this, and a lot of people, of course, South Carolina fans loved it and appreciate me being vocal, which I normally am. I call it one. I thought it was classless. By not kneeling on the football and telling, and when all this started, the game is already over. You know what I mean? And then he was telling them to hurry up, run the play, knowing that you got a depleted defense on South Carolina. Listen, that was a classless. He went even deeper in the classless realm for me by his comments. Listen, you get paid a lot of money, you're going to get some criticism. And the fact that, they need to be concerned with how that defense is played. The two SEC teams that they play, A&M and South Carolina, lit them up in the passing game. They got a reason to be concerned. And when you think about the Giants that lie there, that's going to be there in the playoffs, the Alabamas, the Notre Dame, really good defense, can throw the football around. Maybe now Ohio State or Oklahoma. You better be concerned. And the fact that go off, if you don't appreciate it, 21, and you notice how he emphasized the 21. That's why I said he needed those style points, the 21-plus point victory, he says, and 5 in a row and an undefeated season. And, well, it's time for me to go somewhere else. Listen, Dabo, take a cup of this, sit down somewhere. I mean, to me, you got to be kidding me. I mean, that's pride, guys. That's a lot of pride. That's a guy who I really normally respect his faith and all this stuff. But when he gets to this level, the classless move, and now whining about what the fans think about his team, then go somewhere else. Guess what? It's only going to get worse. You know, like you said, if you go to Alabama, you don't think that fan base is going to be hard on you? I mean, you get paid a lot of money to deal with that, and I thought he really stooped low for me, and I cannot believe he went that to threaten the Clemson fan base about leaving. And if you don't think that's a prideful moment, then something's wrong with you, because that was nothing but pride.
I had to get you riled up there. I knew that would rile you up, Dad.
You know, I hate that kind of stuff, man. I don't threaten the fan base. Come on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, Corey, man, have a safe trip back. Maybe we'll holler at you later on in the week or next week when we find out Alabama's destination. I think that win and the Michigan loss secured them in the Final Four regardless of what happens Saturday. Yeah. But have safe travels.
Well, we're going to be in Dallas.
Go ahead.
Well, we're going to be in Dallas or Miami, right? That's what we're looking at now.
That's right. Have safe travels, and we'll talk to you again here pretty soon.
Thank you, Corey.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. God bless you, man.
Thank you.